I'm here today with Colleen Hauk, workplace expert who works with Fortune 500 companies to help them retain their critical female talent and turn them into top-tier women leaders. Now, Colleen, you say that 2020 was a pivotal year for women. Why is that?
Well, women have always had a unique journey, but 2020 disproportionately affected working women as they struggled to meet the demands of both their employers and their families. McKinsey recently reported that 1 in 4 women are considering downshifting their career or leaving the workforce altogether, something many would have never considered the year prior. So while the evolution of women has been trending in the right direction, this single year could eliminate decades of progress.
What are organizations doing wrong when it comes to advancing women, particularly when it comes to women in leadership?
So, number one, they're not taking burnout seriously. Research has shown that leaders suffer a higher level of burnout, and in 2020, female leaders specifically suffered a higher level as they were pushed back into gender roles and forced to make choices. And I know firsthand exactly what that feels like. I suffered burnout in 2013, and I initially believed that I was going to have to choose between my career or my family if I wanted to survive. So when you add a global pandemic to the mix, it's no wonder that women are leaving in droves. And McKinsey reports that this is the first time ever, that we're seeing women leave the workforce at greater rates than men. And it's because in relationships where both the woman and their partner are working, nearly 40% of the women are doing most, if not all, of the housework, compared to just 11% of men in the same situation. And for working mothers, it's even worse. They're doing the household chores and the caregiving, and it adds up to 20 additional hours per week. That's like adding a part-time job on top of their full-time career. Can you imagine?
Wow, what's next?
So number 2, organizations are offering training too late in the game. While they've been putting funds into training, what we know to be true based on a Harvard Review study is that most companies don't train their managers until they're 42. Yet the average age of managers at those same companies is 33. That's a 9-year gap. And this doesn't even take into consideration those women wanting to be promoted into management. HR leaders say that having strong leadership skills is one of the highest priorities when it comes to choosing new managers, yet they're not even offered the training until after they've been promoted. In 2020, for every 100 men that were promoted to manager, only 85 women were promoted.
So those are 2 big things. What is the third mistake organizations are making?
So number 3 is that women are over-mentored and under-sponsored. So mentors offer support, guidance, advice. So ERGs and mentoring programs are a really good start. But sponsors create opportunities that women otherwise wouldn't have access to. They talk about the woman when they're not even present, which means sponsors have to put some skin in the game, so they have to have trust in a woman's leadership skills. But as I just shared, they're not even offered the training to gain those skills until after they're promoted, making it that much harder for women to even become sponsored. In fact, McKinsey reports that only 1 in 3 women say they have a sponsor. Mentors are great, they're a sounding board, but they're not your ticket to the top of the ladder like a sponsor is.
What now should organizations do to get back on track to continue advancing women in leadership?
Look, we all know the data, that when women stay in the workforce and they move into leadership positions, it impacts companies' bottom lines in a positive way. But even though we've made progress advancing women in leadership, it has been painfully slow. So the question organizations should be asking themselves is not how do we get back on track, but rather how do we accelerate progress? So with my team, we don't just put in some meaningless incentive or single policy. We instead work with your organization to create a personalized program that aligns with your mission and your growth objectives to really build a strong leadership pipeline. Then we not only teach women the hardcore tactical skills that they need to increase their leadership competency, but we understand that they're navigating the dynamics and demands of balancing both their personal and professional worlds. No woman should ever have to choose. They should be able to have a powerful career and extraordinary personal life. So our program creates elite female leaders that will impact lives and organizations today and for years to come.
Thanks so much, Colleen. And to learn more about your top tier female talent, be sure to visit ColleenHouck.com.